Hello and welcome to Chocolate and Cheese with her and him. Yes, that's her. Today we're going to talk about voice recognition.
Voice recognition.
That's right. Yeah, you actually recognize what I was saying there. The best voice commands for the handheld devices. Doesn't matter whether you're an iPhone user or whether you are an Android user. We've got you covered. Okay. Now, just as an introduction, the first time that I came across speech recognition was back in the 90s. I was having a PC with this lovely software called Dragon Dictate or Dragon Naturally Speaking. Yeah. And it was basically promising to recognize everything that you're saying and just write things for you. Okay, so it would write your emails or it would write any kind of text, really. I have to say it wasn't particularly good. It wasn't very accurate, and I think one of the most disturbing things about it, really inconvenient actually, you had to teach it. Okay, so it had to get used to your voice, which took quite a long time. Now, like I said, it wasn't very good. It became better, but it was more or less just a gimmick. Now, 20 years later, we are now obviously all have our handheld devices, and the speech recognition is just absolutely amazing. It is so accurate. It doesn't have to get used to your voice. It just knows what you're talking about. I mean, very rarely you have to say maybe a particular word again, but it just gets you. And that's both for the iPhone user or iPad users and all the Android devices. It's become really, really good. Well, unless you have a really funky dialect or accent, like our Lou, for example, is the funniest thing. Whenever Lou tries to speak to an iPhone or an Android, not only does the device not actually quite understand it, it doesn't pick up anything. And it's not because you speak low. It just can't recognize that this is a human voice.
Okay. Because I said Tina Turner and some kind of food coming up. Do you remember?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
they don't recognize my voice.
That's right. So I hope that in the future the software will become even better, even for those people who have, a funky dialect, funky accents, or maybe some kind of speech impediment. Anyway, so we're giving some tips on the 10 best useful commands for the iPhones or the Android devices. Now, for the iPhone users, this is the speech recognition software is called Siri, okay, which is I think it's speech interpretation recognition interface. Yeah, I just wanted to drop this in. And for the Android users, this is obviously the Google Now. Okay, so obviously this is something that has to be open. You obviously have to click this, or push, or press on this particular program, so for it to work, and then you can just say whatever you want to say. Now, the 10 most full voice commands, we're going to start straight away. The first one, obviously, for making phone calls. So imagine you are in your car and you shouldn't really be playing around with your phone that much. It is much safer. So you can just say, you can make phone calls by using this particular application, and you would simply say call and then whatever name is stored in your phone contacts. Okay, so you could, for example, say phone mom. Call mom, and that it would just do it. If you have several locations or several numbers for mom, so for example, if she has a mobile device, she has a cell phone number, whether she has a home number, you could just say call mom at home. So it would recognize, yes, you want to call the landline of your mother. Okay, so very, very simple. The command is simply call and then whoever. Again, very similar. Next one is sending a text. Okay, so the very simple command obviously is text. So maybe you want to text, maybe I want to text, send a message to Lou, and I would just say text Lou. Okay, as simple as that. And I could actually say what I want to say in the same line. I could just say text Lou, how are you today? ? So you would also have that question mark straight away in there, and it would just send that. Very, very convenient. And the same holds true also for the number 3, very commonly used voice command, which is sending emails. Okay. So again, you would just say, let's say I want to send you an email. I would say email Lou. And I would also include, obviously, the subject, because whenever you write an email, you would have a subject and a main message. Okay, so you can say email Lou, subject, and then say I don't know. I can't make it because I'm listening to chocolate and cheese. Okay, so you could say something like this. The important thing about the email stuff is that the email contact actually has to be in your phone contacts. So if you're using an email, I don't know, Hotmail, Yahoo, or Gmail, this has to be stored under your phone contacts. Otherwise, this doesn't work. That's quite important. Okay, right. Number 4, very useful. It's about setting timers and alarms. You see, sometimes it can be a little bit fiddly if you want to set the time or an alarm. So, for example, let's say you want to do a bit of exercise for the next 20 minutes, or you are cooking something which should be ready in like 10 minutes. You can just say under the voice recognition, set timer to 10 minutes. And it would go straight away into the application. It would just count down for 10 minutes if you say 10 minutes. I mean, really convenient. You don't have to open the application. You don't have to find the application. I mean, that's something that I sometimes find very, very difficult, because I have so many applications on my Android device, and then you spend so much time just looking for them. But this way, you can just say set timer to 10 minutes. Same thing for the alarms. If you you want to be, you have take a nap now, and you want to be woken up at 4 p.m. So you would just say set alarm at 4 p.m. And again, it would be automatic. Okay, as easy as that. Now, the timer and the alarm, this is something that has to happen within the next 24 hours. If you are planning something a little bit further in the future, you would have to use reminders or the calendar option. Okay. The reminders, they have a really a nice additional thing with them, because you can make them location-based or time-based. That means, for example, if you're an iPhone user, you can actually make your iPhone remind you of doing something when you get somewhere. Okay, for example, it could remind you to take the trash out when you go home, when you get home, because the phone knows when you're at home, and that's just GPS, okay? And as soon as you're home, it would actually come up with that message, take the trash out. That is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you would just say, add reminder, okay? And it would just, to take the trash out, when I get home. That's what you would say. Add reminder, take the trash out when I get home. Now, what you have to do for this, actually, you have to have the web and app activity switched on. If that isn't switched on, the application would actually tell you there is still something that you need to do, okay? And this applies to all the voice commands. If something it doesn't quite understand, or if there's something missing, it would tell you, and then you can just respond to it, So it's no big deal if you're missing something, okay? And like I also said, you can also say, remind me to call Lou at 8 p.m., tomorrow night maybe. And then it would do that. And for that, you also have to have, if you're on Android, you have to have the Now cards switched on. But if you don't know what that is, or you haven't switched them on, it would tell you to do that, and you just confirm that. Okay. So these are the reminders. I probably stick more to the calendar option. I'm more familiar with the calendar option. I find the calendar option a little bit. I don't need the location-based stuff, to be honest, and the timer stuff so much. So I would probably stick with the calendar option. And here you can just schedule any kind of event on your calendar, and all you really have to say is you just have to say add to calendar, and then give the title. Okay, so you would have to say add to calendar, title birthday party, and then say when it is. Absolutely. So you would say add to calendar, so the recognition knows, okay, this is about the calendar now. What do I have to put? It is interested in the title, let's say birthday party. So if you wanted to add a birthday party to your calendar, you would just say add to calendar, title birthday party, and then say 2nd of July 2015 at 4 p.m. You don't even have to say 2015, because the calendar would know that, unless it's something even further in the future, like 2017. Okay, so very, very useful commands there. I have a couple more just for really easy stuff. This one, for example, is like to launch applications. Okay, again, like I said before, I have loads of applications on my Android device. So if I, for example, just look for Skype, you can just say launch Skype. It's as simple as that, just the word launch, and then any application that you have on your screen, and it would just go straight into that. Okay. The next one I find particularly interesting. I used to have this on my phone. I didn't even know that this is available on the Android and the Apple products. It's to ID a song. So imagine you're in a club or you're just outside and you're hearing this particular song, but you don't know what it actually is. You can start up the application and say, what's this song? And it would actually tell you, probably who the artist is and what the song is called. So I think that's again quite cool. I didn't really know that this was part of the iOS software and the Android software.
That's my favorite.
That's really cool. Absolutely. Another one. Obviously, we're aware of social media and our urges, to post things about our life. So if you're on Facebook, Twitter, on Google+, again, this is for you. You can just say post to, for example, Facebook, and then just say whatever you want to say. I'm having cornflakes. So you're saying post to Facebook, I am eating cornflakes. And that would be then your status update. Very easy. The last one I have for you, and I suppose this is probably the one that most people use it for, and that's for asking any kind of question. Okay, so you can start it up and just say, I don't know, what's the time in Japan right now? How tall is the Empire State Building? Or if you really want to have some fun, you could just ask it, what does the fox say?